All right, next game on the list here, we got the Carolina Panthers versus the Los Angeles Chargers. We'll get to that in a second. Let me just hit you with the projections. McCaffrey's a start. I have Bridgewater as a sit. Although I do think that DJ Moore and Robby Anderson are both start. More so DJ Moore. I think he has the better projection this week. Sit on everybody else. For the Chargers, I like the Chargers a lot more with Herbert at quarterback. We don't know if Tyrod Taylor is going to come back and start. As of the time of this recording, I don't know. Herbert showed me enough that he needs to be starting right now. To find out that you're the starter 5 minutes before the game, in your first game action, you play an underrated Chiefs defense, you do what he did, I thought that was fantastic. Consider he probably didn't even have any reps during the week to play. I thought he did fantastic. Ekeler, I think, has a big week. Joshua Kelly has a nice week. I'm on starts on both of those guys. Keenan Allen, again, if Herbert is starting, I'm a start again on Keenan Allen. I'm less so a start with Tyrod Taylor in the game. And then Hunter Henry, again, it depends on whether or not Herbert's the quarterback. You could start him, but if Tyrod Taylor is a quarterback, I'm honestly a sit on Hunter Henry. But why don't you take it away, David?
Well, let's just talk about the fact that this is even if McCaffrey plays. We haven't gotten an update on McCaffrey's ankle, and he could miss some time as well. So it makes Mike Davis an intriguing pickup. If you have Christian McCaffrey, absolutely you need to be prioritizing Mike Davis, because we saw that when Christian McCaffrey got hurt, Mike Davis didn't just come in and soak up carries. He had 8 receptions for 74 yards.
Yep.
So Mike Davis is going to catch the ball. That's extremely important. This week, I don't like any Panthers. I mean, how can you? That Chargers defense is good. Teddy Bridgewater has looked bad through 2 weeks. He didn't perform up to par in an easy matchup against the Raiders week 1. He did all right. This past week, he was 33 for 42. That's a good completion percentage, 367 passing yards. That's great. 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions against Tampa Bay. He's just not where he needs to be for this team right now. And I think you throw in the Chargers. That defense is legit.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
In week 1, they had held Joe Burrow to 10 points. And we see Joe Burrow's legit. It was his first start. But then again, last week, they held the Chiefs to 23 points. It was 23-20 game. Patrick Mahomes, 302 yards, 2 touchdowns, 27 of 47. So when you compare what Patrick Mahomes did to them.
Edwards-Helaire, not a great game.
Yeah, I don't think Teddy Bridgewater and Mike Davis are on Patrick Mahomes and Edwards-Helaire's level. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's going to be a struggle for the Carolina offense. And DJ Moore, I'm probably starting him still. You have to start him. Robby Anderson, I want to continue to see it. Right now, he's clearly ahead of Curtis Samuel. If you have Curtis Samuel and Robby Anderson's available, you're probably making that swap. If you're not, I don't know why you wouldn't be. But let's see Robby Anderson continue to stack some games. Let's see how he does in a really tough matchup here before I'm ready to buy into Robby Anderson.
Yeah, agreed on all fronts. And like Herbert, look, he's going to be mobile. He's a big guy. Really, the Chargers probably should have won that game if Herbert had reps throughout because there was opportunity there, especially in the first half, because Kansas City was like trying to figure out what to do because they game planned for Tyrod Taylor. It was a surprise start, last minute start for Herbert. But there was stuff there for them deep, and Herbert will hit that. I'm not worried about his accuracy one bit. He will be sharp. So if he's the starter there, this offense immediately takes a boost, and they're tough to beat. I'm not a buyer on Tyrod Taylor. I've been talking kind of garbage about the Chargers. They're probably not super happy with me, the fan base. But Herbert, you put him in, that's a different team. That is a different team. So, I mean, it all hinges on that for me. Let me hit you with the line here. We got Carolina plus 6.5 versus the Chargers. Who do you got?
I'm going to take the Chargers here just because I talk about the tough defense they have. I don't think Carolina, especially if McCaffrey doesn't play. And I just want to throw out one more thing about Herbert, too, because we need to take this guy seriously as a fantasy option, as a rookie. And I don't really ever suggest investing in rookie quarterbacks in fantasy with one caveat. If they can run the ball, those guys end up being steals in fantasy because the rookie quarterback narrative gets applied to them and pushed on them, and it deflates their value when they have rushing ability to basically overcome that. And we see it, talked about it with Joe Burrow. Herbert had 4 attempts, 18 yards, and a touchdown. And you saw one of those plays. I don't know if you were watching the game. Kansas City linebacker came up and smacked him. The linebacker was the one who was down on the ground wailing in pain after the hit. So Justin Herbert is big. He's got decent athleticism. Look at his combine scores. He's a decent athlete. He's going to run the ball. He's going to get outside the pocket. He's going to be willing to put his body on the line at the goal line. I think even in one quarterback leagues, this guy needs to be rostered, especially in 2 quarterback leagues or super flex leagues. He needs to be one of the top claims, if not the top claim this week.
I'll be shocked if he doesn't start, but you just never know. So, again, let me hit you with the line. Carolina plus 6.5 versus the Chargers. Who did you end up taking?
I'm taking the Chargers and their defense here.
I'm going to take the Chargers if Herbert plays. If he doesn't play, I will take Carolina to cover. That's a kind of a big line for these two teams.
If Herbert doesn't start this next week, Anthony Lynn needs to be fired on the spot.
I completely agree with you.
On the spot. That's all smoke to me. And he knows that. Anthony Lynn has got to know that he's putting his job on the line for Tyrod Taylor if he goes back to him. And he ain't going to do that.
Yeah.
He's just not going to do it.
I agree with everything you just said.